Thanks for giving time to this really important inquiry that we're asking for your help with. I should just say, as you can probably tell, the Australian accent, I have lived here for many years. I had the good wisdom to marry an English girl and settle in our beautiful heart of England. I have to say, though, I did have the benefit of visiting Australia last Christmas to catch up with family and to experience climate change in action. I have never, ever been quite so shocked by what happened, if you recall, with those bushfires. But bushfires, as you know, are a regular feature of the Australian landscape, but it represented a step change. And anyone in Australia who stuck their head in the sand again after that and pretended climate change didn't exist is an utter fool. And I think the reverberations of that continue, certainly in Australia. We've been distracted by many other elements today, but climate change is still very much at the heart of what we need to work on if we're going to make a better future for ourselves and our children. Now, I think that the key thing too, and I being a councillor means this is not meant to be my full-time job. Okay, I got all dressed up before you put a tie on tonight, but really, I'm an elected representative from a rural village in Warwick district, and it's important in councils to break out of the ivory tower that can so easily happen as we get focused on just delivering the services our residents rely on, taking the bins away, dealing with the planning applications, keeping the parks in good order. But we are part of the problem. Warwick District Council has an opportunity to break that problem and remake it. And we need your help to do that. We need to break out of that silo and look again with fresh eyes, your fresh eyes, I hope, on how we can lead and address the climate change. Set an example. We've been serious right from the outset of this council, which was elected in May 19. We broke all sorts of conventions by having a unanimous and cross-party resolution to address the climate emergency. We have found money at times, frankly, when councils have got no money or less to recruit staff, and we are prepared to invest and make changes to implement a climate emergency action plan. So this is not just lip service. Your time is valuable, we recognise that, but also we recognise your advice and input will have a real impact on where this council is going. And just to remind you, the District Council, Warwick District Council, wants as an organisation in less than 5 years to be operating on a carbon neutral basis. And we want to lead this district so that it can in its own right be carbon neutral by just 2030. And Dave Barber's got that got that mantle to pick up, and we're here to help and support that process. So your unique perspectives coming from our community professionally and where you live, work, and the people around you, the people you talk with, the families, the neighbours, the friends, that is vital to us, those fresh eyes and fresh perspectives. So what's going to happen next is that your findings will actually be presented to our councillors in February, March next year, which frankly isn't very far away. We're committed to using your recommendations to prepare a new climate emergency action plan. We adopted our first one soon after the resolutions back in the summer last year, and since then we've been doing our very best to make various changes, one of which is to enable this inquiry to take place. So the new action plan will come into effect next April or May in that process. So what you're working on now will be reflected in that plan. I promise you that. And now there will be, I suspect, some things that we will not be able to do because of resources, money, people, the scale of our footprint and what's possible in a district of just 143,000 people. Am I right? Somewhere about there. Yeah. Okay. Dave's nodding, which is a relief. However, that doesn't. But let's remember too that we're at the forefront of district councils, local government in this process. So the examples and the methods and processes we put in place now will have an effect in encouraging other local government authorities to pursue this as along the same lines. Your feedback's going to be really important. The work you're doing is going to be listened to, And I promise you, as the leader of this council, that this is a serious process and you will not be ignored. I'm very, very grateful to you all, each and every one of you, for the time and attention you're giving this important matter. I hope that's enough of a kickstart for you, Pete. Good.